Hello, Fight Insight fans, viewers, and listeners. I'm the Filipino podcasting machine, Prince D, and with me, as always, the man formerly known as Timbo Slice Timmy B. Before we start, please take a moment to subscribe to us on YouTube and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to support the show, check out middaysquares.com and use code Fight Insight 15 to save 15% on all your orders. On today's episode, we talk about cryptocurrency that's exploded over the MMA scene. What is it? Should I invest? Let's find out. Tim, hit it.
Yeah, it's Timmy B, Prince D, Fight Insight. Yeah, that's right.
Today's the day, Prince. People have been waiting for this, man. We are lucky enough to have recorded a podcast with people from Marshall Inu, right? So we have them. We recorded it last week, so we're going to add it now. We're just going to do some intro stuff here today, but we hope that people like it, right? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the conversation?
Yeah, it was very informative. The guys were cool, right?
Yeah.
First of all, those guys
Yep.
were cool. But it was very informative. Like, my head exploded. I had to take a nap after just because of all the information that was just brought to us. So how did you feel about it, Tim?
Yeah, it was good, man. You'll see it in the interview. Like, I don't have cryptocurrency. I don't really know too much about it. I did try to watch a few documentaries and some things to learn about it. We put a poll up on our Instagram on our stories, and here was the results. It was, do you own crypto? 21% said, of course, they're rich. 53% said, of course, I'm poor and I'm trying to become rich. And then 26% said, hell no, I'm a zero risk taker. So a lot of people are in it, man. Like, I was surprised at that because I personally don't know too many people that have crypto, but there you go. So people are into
Yeah.
it. So they're interested.
And it doesn't help that Netflix dropped a docuseries about, crypto, trust no one. Like, after
Yeah.
you watch that,
Yeah.
you kind of question everything now, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, it's a good one, man. We ask a lot of good questions of Marshall Inu. We're really appreciative that they come on. So we hope you enjoy the podcast. Just give us like 5 minutes. Let's get through some things. Prince, our sponsors, of course, you already mentioned Midday Squares. It's rolling down at the bottom on our ticker, but visit middaysquares.com and use code FIGHTINSIGHT15. It really helps out the show, so we appreciate it. And Prince, you want to talk about Hula?
Yes, and I want to talk about Hula, so you guys can check out Hula Cleaning Services. So contact Hula Cleaning Services for your carpet, fitness, commercial, and construction cleaning needs. You can check them out at www.hulacleaning.com.
Nice. And they have a special going on. I know on our clean hit of the week that we release every Sunday night, there's some cleaning special for $99.99. So if you have some disgusting, dirty gym, go hit them up. They've got a deal going on. Prince, friends of the podcast update. We've got a few things going on. So we've got Grant Neal and Janae Harding, our last two guests of the show, both Bellator fighters. They're fighting at Bellator 278 and 279. That happens on Friday and Saturday. They're doing back-to-back events. Go check them out. Tai Shea, our longtime friend, she's fighting April 29th at Combate Global. And then I do want to announce, Prince, Regan Coconut Gowing.
Ooh.
She was on our podcast a while ago. She's one of our favorite guests. Great Canadian Muay Thai fighter. She announced that on June 4th, she's fighting back in Lion Fight. Light flyweight North American title is on the line, and she's fighting for it. She is going to win it. Prince, very exciting for Regan.
Regan's the best. Regan's
man. We're gonna try and get her. We're gonna try and get her back on the podcast before the event, so that we can talk to her about it. But when she was on our show, she was talking about, she had that fight coming up, and then she said, after this, what am I doing? I'm getting the North American title, and then I'm getting the world title.
And look,
everything's coming to fruition. It's coming to fruition, baby.
Right? And plus, I've got a special surprise for her.
Okay, nice. Prince, what else do we have? Next week's guest, for those that are interested, we have the owner / promoter / president / CEO of FLA, which is Fight League Atlantic. It's an MMA promotion in Atlantic, Canada. They have an event coming up at the end of the month. So we have them coming on to talk about anything and everything, like about their show, about their league, about everything. I think it's their third event or fourth event coming up at the end of the month. So we're happy to have them on. They can talk about it. If you're a Canadian MMA fighter, or if you're a MMA fighter, I guess anywhere around the world, and you need some league to get into, this may be the one.
That's it. Come check it out. A new league. So hey, you know what? Something exciting. You know what? We're interviewing all these up and coming organizations, fighters, and
Yeah.
stuff. You never know, right? So you never know. They could
Never
make it
know,
big.
man.
And there you go. Fight Insight was the one who did it.
All right, Prince. So we'll get to this interview,
Yep.
and
Let's
then
go.
we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, please leave comments, leave likes. Follow us on Fight Insight Podcast on YouTube, here on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Mhm.
wherever the hell you're finding your podcast. Follow us there. Lots of good stuff going on. Leave comments. We want to know what you think about this, and if you
Yeah.
get rich, then we want to know too.
That's it. That's it. So check it out, guys. It's an amazing podcast. You're gonna
Yeah.
learn
So
something.
Yeah, so let me intro it up. You're going to hear two people on the podcast. You don't see their picture, you don't see their video. It was just audio only with them, but there's two individuals. The first is ChiroCrypto. He's what they deemed an avid investor with Marshall Inu, so he's here to talk. And with him is Bryce, who is a lead developer with Marshall Eno. So those are the two individuals that you're going to hear talking. Prince, let's figure out, like you said at the intro, what the hell is this all about? Why are they into MMA? Where do they plan to go? What's going on here? So I'm going to cut to your intro, Prince. It's going to be as smooth as possible. But ladies and gentlemen, coming to us from somewhere deep within the interweb, please welcome
Bryce and Chiro.
I think
That was
he-
amazing. That was amazing.
We're gonna have fireworks. You name it, guys. Don't worry, we got you.
Very, very Bruce Buffer-esque. I will say that much.
Oh, thanks, man. Can you forward that to my mom? I'm looking to have my allowance increase and my curfew extended, if that's possible.
I like how you changed Cairo to more of like a Greek euro. Like that was interesting too. So
Yeah,
that's good, Prince.
It's exotic. Sorry, guys.
Guys, Bryce, Cairo, we appreciate you coming on the show. Everybody is curious about Marshall Inu. We've been trying to do our research as much as possible. So the first thing that I realized about Marshall Inu is that it's not itself a cryptocurrency, but you purchase it using cryptocurrency. So can you explain how that works out? Like how you purchase Marshall Rogan Inu coins?
Do you want to take that, Bryce?
Sure. So yeah, just to clarify, so we are an actual cryptocurrency. Now, so we're built on Ethereum's blockchain. MRI or Marshall Inu is a separate token that you use. You can either swap from Ethereum, USDT, or any other token that is built on the Ethereum or the ERC20 network, and you can easily swap that into MRI and become an MRI holder. Now, MRI is a token that gives you exclusive benefits to the community, as well as other perks and stuff that I'm sure we'll delve into later on in the podcast. But mainly is used to support our mission, that is to work with mixed martial artists around the world.
So, okay, so I got it wrong already. So I'm batting zero already. So, okay, so it is a cryptocurrency, but I can only purchase it by using another cryptocurrency to purchase it, correct?
Yes.
So what is the reason for that, or how does that work?
So a lot of people, when they're trying to make investments within cryptocurrency, they look to get into other smaller coins, one, to help grow their investment or their wealth, but also to become a part of projects that they fundamentally believe in. So the same way you use the US dollar to purchase investments such as houses and stocks, is the same way people or crypto enthusiasts use Ethereum to purchase MRI or any other token as such.
Okay, and so you said that there's perks when you purchase the MRI coins. So what does that mean?
When you purchase it, so when you purchase an MRI token, again, it allows you to be a part of the Marshall Inu community. One, you not only become a holder, so same way if you made any other stock investment or you made an investment to a house or something, you are now that sole property owner. You are now a MRI token holder. And with that, again, you become part of the community. You're allowed to, you're investing into a project and a mission that we fundamentally believe in. And you as an investor, hopefully as well believe in, as well as providing you access to other perks, such as the opportunity to attend UFC fight nights or UFC events, or other promotional stuff, such as like Bellator events, LFA events, so on and so forth.
So by owning MRI, you'll then reach out to the people that own it and offer those kind of perks, and there's somehow some sort of link to that?
Yeah. So before every, again, this has been around for about 2 months. So there's things on the roadmap, different perks and things that are coming down the line. But currently, before every pay-per-view fight, at least the last two, the team has actually sent some of the holders to the fights, paid for their airfare, paid for the tickets. I actually got to go on UFC 272 to my first fight ever. And, you know, I've always been one to watch the fights, and I thought it was cool. But actually being there, it is, I mean, I'm sure you remember your first fight. There's nothing like it. The energy, the fans, I was sitting right on the front row as the fighters exited and fist bumping them.
Wow.
And I just developed a love for the sport. And I'm like, man, this is the realest sport. The guys say whatever they want. You know, they're not censored in the ring. So, yeah, that's one of the perks. And then later on, the team is also working on doing meetups for the holders, and is going to try to get some of the UFC fighters to actually come out, and it be like an exclusive VIP event before and or after the fights as well. So there's a couple neat things for UFC and MMA fans that they can actually engage with the fighters.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Okay, so I want to go off on tangents on so many of the things you just said. First thing though, how much MRI do I need to own to be eligible for those perks, or the potential to gain some perks?
The past giveaways, one I know was a buy competition. So anyone who bought over half an Ethereum, and I think it was like a 36-hour period or something.
Okay.
So it was like a certain amount. But also, I believe this last round was just randomly selected. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce.
No, and yeah, depending on the perk, I want to say, will entitle you to again, will be based on off of how much you hold. For example, I know we're going to be doing giveaways with signed merchandise from some of the fighters we partnered with, such as Aljamain Sterling and Alexander Volkanovski, two of the reigning champions from this past weekend.
Yes.
And that just by being a holder in general, no matter what amount you hold, will automatically allow you to be able to enter into that giveaway. And hopefully, best of luck to all. You'll be able to win some signed merchandise.
That's crazy. Okay, before this podcast, I was telling Prince, I'm buying some Marshall Rogan. I have zero cryptocurrency. Okay, but I want to get into this because I'm interested in what you guys are doing. But now hearing the perks, for sure I'm in, 100%. As soon as I get off this podcast, Prince, I'm going to figure out how to buy some.
And guys, and also secondly, I apologize because I'm so old school. I still go to the bank teller to do any of my banking. So, yeah. So just to let you guys know that, just in case because we do have the old school viewers as well too. So
yeah. Old school viewers probably not tuning into podcasts, but that's fine. Okay, Bryce and Chiro, how did you guys? I mean, you said that you've been here for 2 months. How the hell did you guys get integrated into the MMA community so fast? It's like every fighter we talk to, their Instagram story is talking about Marshall Inu. How did you guys get in so quickly?
Well, so I've bought a lot of crypto projects and have kind of offered my advice to the team on marketing and pulling off these big feats. I've never seen a team move this quickly. I mean, it was like the coin launched, and 2 weeks later, you have Bobby Green doing a shout out for Marshall Inu in the ring.
Wow.
And I'm just like, man, how do you guys make moves this quick? Well, one, it was kind of a twofold approach. You had the team that were calling fighters agents and different people they knew in the UFC field, as well as the community. That's the really cool part about crypto is someone buys the coin, they believe in the movement, and it really was largely an organic thing from the followers with people saying, hey, I know so-and-so at my gym, and he's a coach of so-and-so upcoming fighter, and I think he has a connection to, this guy. And people there was probably 80 people reaching out to different connections.
Nice. Wow.
And one of the holders actually knew Bobby Green. So he texted him and made that connect, and then it just traveled organically.
Wow. Like word of mouth, just word of mouth, old school word of mouth.
Yeah, I was shocked at how fast it took on, though, to be honest. I've never seen something take on that fast.
No, and not only that, but kudos on Bobby Green. Bobby Green is like one of my favorite fighters of all time. I would die to have him on this podcast, and we cannot get a hold of him or anything at all. I mean, he's a great guy, and I mean every fight of his is insanity. So to have him shout out Marshall Inu, that hits the world immediately, right? So that's a great one. I get what you're saying now in terms of the Marshall Inu coin kind of gets you into this club per se, and you've got the perks. On your website, it says, on the Marshall Inu website, it says MRI coins are a means to transfer wealth and shouldn't be considered as an investment. What does that mean? Does that mean that it's not, that the value of the MRI is not growing?
Okay, I'm more than.
Go ahead, Bryce.
All right, yeah. So I'll touch on this a little bit. So for those who are unfamiliar with the cryptocurrency space, we started off a new wave of tokens. I hate to say it, but a lot of people like to reference us as a meme token. The difference between us and the traditional meme token is that we provided utility, and that utility was working with partnering and sponsoring fighters. It was with that we've been able to get so much traction, and why our project took off so well, because we had a vision in mind, and that was to grow with the MMA community, not only with the athlete itself, but the gyms within it, the other athletes, the coaches. And from there, we've been able to not only integrate that within the MMA space, but also integrate crypto enthusiasts, because a lot of people are very passionate about MMA, and a lot of people are just interested in being a part of something that provides a lot of value to society in that sense.
But does my MRI coin grow in value? When I buy an MRI coin, mm-hmm. I'm buying it with like X dollars of Ethereum. Mm-hmm. Can I buy half an MRI coin, or do you only buy it per unit?
Yeah.
So Go ahead, Cairo.
You can buy partial amounts. There is such a large supply that even if you bought, I think it's about 3 cents right now. So if you buy, 1,000 units, that's like $30 if I'm doing that math right. But you can buy a partial amount. But the thing that's a lot different than the stock market versus the crypto market is that if you look at stocks over time, you kind of, if you pull up the, like NASDAQ or something over the last 20 years, it's just a continual uprise.
Yeah.
Well, And there's not as much volatility. Like if the price of a stock dipped 35% tomorrow for like Apple, there would be people freaking out. People would be getting fired. It'd be craziness. But in crypto, it is so volatile. So when MRI came out, it actually had went on a crazy run. I think from its initial launch, it had done about like a 200x or something from where you could initially get in on. Then Chael Sonnen jumps into Spaces, and he shares with us that he was talking to Conor McGregor and some different people about it, and the coin just shoots up another 9x from that moment. And then, of course, you're going to have big dips as people sell. So in crypto, there is so much volatility and the price is all over the place.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why it's worded that way, is just they don't want to give the impression to people that like you're for sure guaranteed that your investment or your money you put in is going to go up, because it's just so volatile that it can go way up, it can go way down. And that's one of the reasons why I love crypto, is because, I mean, there's opportunities to make money so much quicker than like investing in the stock market or something.
Sure. But then you have to sell it at the high point. Like you got to know when to do it. But so what you're saying is, so the value of an MRI, the Marshall Rogan Inu coin, the value of the MRI changes over time.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So it does change over time. So then the wording on the website, when it says it shouldn't be considered as an investment, is more for the safety of the buyer, to warn them, to say, hey, this is a high volatile market. This is high risk, right? So if you put in money thinking, hey, let me put in my life savings here and I'm going to wait this baby out, like that may not be your best move, right?
That's correct. And as with any crypto, I always tell people it is so young, just as a market in whole. Unfortunately, we're in this phase where Bitcoin, your largest cap crypto, if Bitcoin drops 5% or 10%, you can get coins that'll drop way more than that. And then when Bitcoin bounces 10%, these coins might do a 2 or 3x. So it's so volatile. And I'm a big crypto investor. I always tell people, if you're just starting out, it's better just to invest like some money that if it goes down or it goes down in value temporarily, it's not going to bother you. Because you could come back in a year from now and you could have 10x your investment, but tomorrow Bitcoin could crash 20% and the price of the token might drop 50%. And then you don't want people to like panic or anything, you know? So
right. Yeah.
That's pretty common.
Okay. Now, when people are purchasing this, so when they see this and they see the fighters saying, hey, go to Marshall Inu's, thank you, Marshall Inu. The idea obviously is that fans of the combat world or fans of MMA are going to be like, hey, what the hell is Marshall Inu? Let me go look at this. Is it that when they purchase MRI, is a portion of their proceeds going to support fighters? I don't think so, right? I think it's more just that the more that Marshall Inu makes as a company, then the more you guys are going to be able to keep going out and supporting fighters. Is that the idea? It's not like a portion of whatever I buy directly goes, right?
Do you want to take that, Bryce?
Sure. So the simple answer is yes, but it does indirectly. So when you do purchase MRI, the way that it's currently set is that there's a tax set on every buy and sell. Now, these taxes are then diverted towards funds that we use to not only further development of the project itself, but also to our marketing wallet, which is also more eloquently known as our Fighters Fund. And it's with this Fighters Fund that we've been using to help partner and sponsor with fighters from all ranges, all the way from the ranks of the elite of the UFC to the regional ranks of LFA, I'm trying to think of Fury, Icon, are some of the more notable promotions that we've worked with. But yeah.
Okay. So that's awesome. Okay. So I get that. And then let me just segue, because you're talking about it, let me segue into your fight bonuses, because that's a huge thing that came across. I'm going to put an image on the screen for people. You've probably heard of this, but if you're on the internet at all, you've seen where Marshall Inu was reporting that they were going to be giving away $70,000 in bonuses between the top 3 fighters of the night chosen by your community. So here again seems to be a way that, hey, if I own MRI, this is like an added bonus. I get to play with this. So people of owners of MRI voted, and you guys are giving bonuses to the fighters. And that's whether the fighter is sponsored by you or not.
Correct.
Wow, that's cool.
So
yeah, the
sorry,
community, they get to vote on that. So they get to go in and cast their vote. So in effect, it's you actually get to participate in, who you want to get hooked up with some crypto that night.
That's crazy. You know how many times I'm so mad at who wins the performance of the night bonuses, and I'm like, damn it should have been this guy or should have been this girl. So if you own Marshall Inu, Prince, we'd be able to now at least have a say in getting some bonuses to the right people.
And listen, the performance of the night at the last 2 UFC, I think it should have gone to Herb Dean. That stoppage was like the create. If you guys check it out, Herb Dean should have won that one. That stoppage was solid. Listen, my hat goes off to that man. He did a great job.
Yeah.
So.
No, that was amazing. I wanted to ask, okay, so the fight bonuses. Okay, what do I do? And I think you've kind of answered this, but what do I do with my MRI? It sits, again, because I'm feeling like a lot of people that listen to this podcast or watch this podcast may not be in crypto already. So the question is, what do I do with my MRI? Essentially, you have apps that have your wallets, and the MRI is like, it's just there, right? And you just let it sit. I
Correct.
mean, this is kind of like such a newbie question, but
yeah, no. So I'm more than happy to touch on it. But yeah, so using a decentralized or now a centralized wallet, because we've been able to get on a notable, I believe it's 15 centralized exchanges. But yes, once you purchase MRI, you can let it sit in your wallet. Now your wallet is just an area in which you would hold your crypto. So it doesn't have to be exclusively to MRI. Whatever other investments you purchase through crypto is where you would find all of your holdings, in essence. And now it's from there you can decide, today I'd like to buy some more, and it would be purchased and redirected there. If you'd like to sell a little bit, it would interact with that wallet, and through the blockchain, it'll swap. And again, you'll have that done for you. Okay.
When I spoke to some fighters, and so we've had fighters on, I mean, I'm sure you guys are going to be Fight Insight fans after this podcast, so don't worry. You can go back, watch our backlog. Okay. We've got fighters from all over. But I was speaking to a few professional fighters who have been sponsored by you guys. They say you guys are incredible. But I also asked a few of them, and they're like, I have no idea what crypto money is. I'm assuming that when you're sponsoring these fighters and you're paying them in crypto, I'm assuming, do a lot of them like have no idea what this is, and like you've got to set up an account for them?
So, yeah, it's definitely been, for lack of a better word, it's definitely sorry. It's been an enlightening experience, like I've been active within crypto for quite a while. I know Chiro has been as well, but yeah, working with a lot of the fighters that we have, having to help them set up wallets, helping them understand what Ethereum is, because for your knowledge as well as everyone listening to the podcast, we pay out in Ethereum. Okay. And Ethereum is the second largest leading cryptocurrency. So it's one that's here to stay. And even from there, for those of them who do not want Ethereum, we show them how how they can swap it into a currency of their choice, whether it be USD. I know some fighters we've interacted with could be Canadian, but yeah, we help them through that process to help better understand it, so that they, again, if they want to use the money towards their training camp, some of their healthcare expenses, towards their management, even, we try and expedite that process and make it as seamless as possible.
No, that's amazing.
That's cool. You guys are like crypto tutors.
Yeah.
Am I right? Like,
Yeah.
why do I picture fighters like sitting? When you're sitting down, you're looking at the notebook, and you got the guys in here teaching you what to do. Like that's why I see it. That's wicked, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I will say, Prince, that like I said, I'm going to be buying some Marshall Inu, but I was on the website and they have some videos that really step by step take you through the process of like how to purchase your Ethereum, and then how to transfer it or exchange it into the Marshall Inu. So it's very, very appreciative of your website, like how it goes through everything. So I do like that.
Also,
yeah,
if
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just, when you asked that, I would say about half of the fighters were invested in crypto prior, and I would say around half, it was the first time. So we had to help them. And that's one of the awesome things about the community and the holders. They actually volunteered their time. One guy actually helped probably 3 fighters out. He got on the phone over an hour each time and helped them set up their wallets. And the community recommended that we actually create a crypto education portal for the fighters, because some of them shared, while they're up and coming and they're on their grind, they said they actually started trading crypto so they could make more money, because it was either that or, which is awesome, because it was either get a job or trade crypto. So they learned about the market, obviously did well at it. But we wanted to give that experience and that education to other fighters. That way, like, it's my personal belief, Ethereum is trading around 3,000 right now. I think it's going to be making its next run up sometime this year. I think it'll go to about 7,000 or 8,000. So that's just my prediction. But I tell them, hey, if you need this money in cash, definitely cash it out. But if you don't, you should hold on to some of that, because it's a good investment. So we're working on a fighter crypto education portal to teach any of them about it.
That's so cool, man. I love it. One fighter I was speaking to was saying, you know what, I'm going to keep most of it in there. I'll take a little bit out so that I can use it, but the rest of it, I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to start learning. So that's probably one of those fighters that didn't know previously, but because of you is now in it. And God knows what that's going to help him or their family or other fighters, right, that they'll talk to in the gym. So it's great. On the Marshall Inu website, under goals, it states, our goal at Marshall Inu is to support fighters worldwide, no matter what stage they're in at their career. And you've mentioned this on the podcast, talking about the LFA fighters and the younger fighters. Now, I was speaking with Ruby Sports and Entertainment agent Kevin Ju. He's the agent for Ramona Pasquale, as well as Jiyeon Kim from South Korea. We had him on our podcast. He was actually translating for Jiyeon Kim, UFC fighter. He's a great guy. He's asking, are you guys looking to support more fighters in the future, including the up-and-coming stars? I think because he's got lots of fighters that are going to be on some of those upcoming UFC tournaments, the road to Asia, all that stuff. Young fighters that are looking to get sponsored by Marshall Inu. How do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? How does that work?
Well,
Go ahead, Caro.
It's a combination of both.
Okay.
The team reaches out, the community reaches out. That's the cool thing about crypto, is it's so, call it decentralized, meaning crypto projects are widely made up of the community themselves, and they can help steer the course. And if they say, there's been so many instances where I've gotten direct messages from people, and they said, hey, I have a cousin who's training in this gym and you guys should sponsor him. And then I'll forward that to the team. So it's a it's a combination of both, of reaching out to the fighters, to their agents, or especially now after gaining some momentum, a lot of the fighters are reaching out and they're saying, hey man, I like what you guys are doing. How can I get on board? Or, how can I promote this? This is awesome. You guys are helping us out. But a lot of the fighters that are sponsored, even you'll never see them, at least right now, on TV, or they might not even be fighting in things like the LFA.
Right.
They might just be completely local level. Like I was able to help connect my friend who runs a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu startup tournament in Florida. And the team actually paid out fight bonuses to the BJJ fighters for like submission of the night. And these guys are like 18 and 19, so.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
wait,
amazing.
do you guys have scouts in the fights?
You want to take that, Bryce?
Not yet, but I know we're looking to develop as we continue to grow. It's definitely something we're looking to do. And even just, again, because we want to expand our reach. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are fully aware, like MMA compared to the bigger sports industries within North America, the athletes are severely underpaid. And we recognize this issue, and it's something we wanted to try and change. And from there, we started from the top down. We started with some of the bigger leagues from the likes of the PFL, Bellator, UFC, to a top-down approach. And as we continue to grow and build, we're going to look to, again, partnering with some of the more regional scenes so that we can continue to allow the athletes who are now entering the MMA landscape further their career. Because at the end of the day, we want to continue to grow the sport. We want to continue to support athletes within it and just make MMA a staple within society for the future.
I do want to say, and again, this is from Kevin Jew, who again is the agent with Ruby Sports Entertainment. He's told me, because when he saw that we posted on our Instagram stories that you guys were coming on, he told me, he said, Tim, you don't understand how important Marshall Inu has been to some of his fighters, or to some of the fighters in the fight game. He says the money that Marshall Inu is able to support fighters pays for their entire fight camp. Like, it is so beneficial and helpful. And so, like, what you're saying, you don't realize, you could be saying it, or people can hear it and go like, oh, that's a soundbite. Oh, that's a nice thing that they say. But I have heard firsthand 100% that this is extremely helpful. Like, so for anybody that doubts it or thinks like, it's like, pennies or whatever, it's not a thing. No, this is huge for the fighters. Like, so helping support Marshall Inu and doing what you guys are saying, I just wanted to let you guys know that firsthand. I'm hearing it, and I'm sure you guys are too. It is immensely helpful, like what you guys are doing. It's incredible.
You guys are like the Red Cross of MMA.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I was trying to be serious, guys.
No, but you guys must hear it though, right? Like, you guys know how impactful you've been. I mean, it's all well and good to say it or to write it, but you hear it, right?
Well, that's interesting you say that. It is super good to hear, because I guess I have been so busy just trying to help the facilitation of like marketing and help grow the project, where I can as a member. That I mean, aside from some of the guys like Bryce Mitchell, I'll never forget, he got on a Twitter Spaces. And,
yeah.
oh man, he's such a cool guy. His country accent. He's just a good old boy,
Yeah.
He's really to get. He had brought up his charity while on Spaces, and the team and some of the community members, I think he raised like $65,000 for his charity that hasn't even started yet. So they pledged that. Wow. So he showed some thanks and seeing some shout outs. But no, actually, that's really good to hear, because I don't get to hear the day-to-day stuff often. No. And man, that just put a huge smile on my face, because it's just good to hear to know you're actually making a difference. And part of the long-term vision is to really kind of become like a LinkedIn for MMA, because we also discovered on one of the spaces, I forget which fighter was talking about this. It was Kevin Holland. He said, because, I asked him, I was like, hey, if some of these guys have more money and they could pay for their fight camps, would they make it big time? And he said yes and no. He said money is definitely a holdback for some guys. He said, but for other guys, sometimes it's just the commitment and the accountability. So he said he actually lacked connections with the right coaches and trainers who could push them. Well, since we're in contact with so many different coaches, trainers, even supporting certain gyms, it was suggested by him. He said it would be awesome if you guys could help connect these up and coming guys to the right trainers and stuff, because yes, then they would make it to the pros if someone could push them. So we really look to expand to be like this network of, hey, these guys might need monetary help. These guys might just need connected to the right coach, and we're going to try to do that as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Definitely take it back to your partners and the people that you work with, though, to let them know that the people are talking about them on the ground roots level or the grassroots level. They're talking about them. They're talking about Marshall Inu. They love you guys, and they're very appreciative of your help. So thank you, for someone that loves the sport. I know we're a little bit long on time. Are you okay just to stay for a couple more questions?
For sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Our buddies at MMA Social Squad, they asked, and again, you kind of touched on this, so this is great. The initiative is centered around fighters, but do you expect to expand the demand beyond the MMA community?
So, so I'm more than happy to touch on that. I know we've again, our focus primarily, because we've only been live for, as Chiro said, roughly 2 months.
Yeah.
Our focus was primarily on MMA, but I know we're definitely looking to also transition into the boxing scene as well. So I've spoken to some representatives. I actually spoke to someone this morning representing a fighting promotion that's occurring in June sometime. But yeah, it's something that we're looking to branch out, because again, we are aware of the athletes. Some of them need funds to not only pay for their training camps and their healthcare expenses, but also just to help put food on the table. And our goal in mind is to be able to help them, support them in their career and further their initiative of achieving their dreams, because a lot of them just have this goal in mind. And, if we can help achieve that for them, that's one more person that we helped, and just something that we can celebrate.
That's awesome.
Any chance of expanding to the pillow fighting league?
I don't think anyone's proposed it yet, but I'll see if I can find a representative to reach out to.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Keep an eye on those pillow fighting.
And I mean, and you do say boxing, but you're already in the bare knuckle boxing, because we former guest of the show, Sharisa Sweetheart Sagala, she had your logo on her fight shorts, so you're already in BKFC.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. No, because that's amazing. I mean, that's a step already, right? But okay. Into the podcasting universe, are you looking to sponsor podcasts? I may know a couple of guys.
Yeah, like Toronto MMA based podcast.
Yeah, specifically.
Fight Insight. I don't know, just to name a few.
Random name.
That is not an idea that we've thought of, but it's definitely one that we can look into. I know, again, we want to continue to help push our message. We want to help continue to support people, not only from the likes of the athletes, but people just involved within the community, whether that be broadcasters, media, journalists, coaches, gyms, so on and so forth. So when it comes to MMA podcasts, I'm not ruling that off the table for sure.
Listen, if you guys need me to come in a full Marshall Inu bikini, I will do it. Full spread. You guys are laughing right now, but I will do it. All right, and then shiki, like the half thing. Have you guys ever? Never mind. We'll talk about it after the podcast. Carry on, Tim. Carry on.
No, good. Hey, we're throwing our name in the hat. That's all I know.
And it's usually me doing the dirty work, so that's okay.
Yeah, very dirty. A more technical question. We had this one from @AaronsS2. Are there any territorial restrictions to purchasing MRI? So I know in different countries, sometimes there's some different things around crypto. Is MRI open to all over the world, or what's the deal?
Yes. Well, and that's the beauty of it being, as we called, I know I touched on it earlier, but I'll explain what this means, decentralized. So in crypto, you have centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. Centralized would mean it's a company, it's a corporation like a Coinbase or a Binance. And you can call an office, you can call a help desk, you can send a support email. Then you have decentralized exchanges, which are obviously there. I mean, they're still ran by teams, but you can't, depending on the decentralized exchange, and it sounds sketchy, of course, but you can't just reach out and call these people. You don't know who runs these things. So that would be like on Uniswap. So yeah, certain centralized exchanges have limitations. Like if MRI were to be listed on Binance, I live in the United States of America, so I could not use Binance because I'm banned from that exchange in the US. Now,
Okay.
I can use Uniswap though, and you can use Uniswap pretty much any area in the world that you can connect it to a wallet like MetaMask. Now, again, obviously MRI is a safe coin, vetted project. On decentralized exchanges, though, there are a lot of scam coins that can come up. So I caution people, if you're using that kind of exchange, you definitely want to make sure you know what you're buying and you have the right project, because there could be like a scam MRI token that is not the official project. So that's why it's good to check the website. I do know, I think in a few areas in the Middle East specifically, they had banned the use of those exchanges. There's probably a couple countries, but for the most part, 98% of the world is able to buy it.
Oh.
Nice.
So basically, like, we just want to make sure that if we buy Marshall Inu coins, we don't get jumped in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay, that makes sense.
You should be good. You should be good.
Yes,
I think you should be good.
we should be all right. Like, there's no gang colors that we should be wearing when we buy these coins. It should be like orange and red. Like, just okay. Sorry.
No, just wrap the hoodie, that logo there, those little boxing gloves, and you'll be Gucci.
Ooh, speaking of Gucci, yeah, that's right.
I think we've asked everything we wanted to, Prince. From the things that people were asking us about online when they found out that you guys were going to be coming on representing Marshall Inu, all the comments we got, the questions we got, I think we got everything out. So Bryce and Chiro, is there anything you think that we haven't asked that we should have asked, or anything that we should have brought forth that we did not maybe touch upon?
I would like to touch on one thing, and I don't know if this is related, unrelated, coincidence, who knows, but crypto.com has recently pledged to do $60,000 in fight bonuses to fighters.
Yeah.
You guys have heard of that, right?
I honestly thought it was you until the broadcast at 273, because I knew you guys had done it. And then when they started talking about it online this past weekend, and now this is going to come out a couple of weeks, but at UFC 273, I started hearing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Marshall Inu, only to realize it wasn't you.
Yes, that was, well, so I have my own theories, of course. I think that because of what Marshall Inu had done, I think crypto.com thought it was a cool idea and decided to kind of step up and offer crypto bonuses as well that the fans could vote for. Yes. So, you have some people in the community saying, oh, that was Marshall Inu who did it first. So it's kind of like this competition, but that's not at all what it's about. I felt very proud. I felt partially successful in the mission, because the whole idea is to, the slogan, fighting for fighters, is to help fighters in any way possible. So I thought it was awesome now that, they paved this way into paying fighters bonuses in crypto that fans get to vote for. So now these guys are making more bonuses. Additionally, Marshall New has paid for medical procedures for guys without health insurance. They actually pledged some money to the Kane case to help him pay some legal fees. I know they helped a fighter who's, I forget his name, his house just burnt down recently. They sent him
Stephen Bonner.
Yeah. Or at least they were trying to contact him. So, you know, there's a lot of different outlets that they'll help. It's not just bonuses, but I was very proud to see crypto.com come in and whether they know that who Marshall New is or not, I just think it's cool that now these fighters are getting paid more bonuses that fans can directly, you know, vote on.
Yeah, if in doing what you've done changes the landscape to help people encourage other companies to give bonuses or to do that kind of work, philanthropic work, stuff like that, it benefits the community as a whole, like you're saying. So, I mean, it's an amazing initiative that you put out. I did vote for the first one that you guys did. I did vote for that.
Who did you vote for?
Who did I vote for? I want to say Aljamain.
Very nice.
I think it was Aljamain because he made me a lot of money that night, and I thought I should pay him back.
Guys, listen, that was a shot in the dark. We had
been calling that for a year that he was going to win, put our money where our mouths were, and I had a very nice Italian dinner with my wife. Thanks to Aljamain. So
I applaud both of you gentlemen.
I got a set of grills coming my way, all gold platinum. I'm taking that bad boy to work.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd want to talk about before we let you go? And again, we appreciate your time so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or chat about with Marshall Inu? There
is, and Bryce, if you have anything else to say as well, obviously, please do. I just have one more thing I would like to share. Earlier, you talked about branching out, and this all fits in within the hood of MMA, but as it's made up of different things, we do eventually plan to work with different facets within MMA. And I've been personally calling a lot of different Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches, organizations. And I know on the roadmap, there are some future goals, like even building gyms in South America, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms, sponsoring them, building them. Most likely, you know, Gracie gyms. It'd be awesome to work with them and really just support the MMA foundation and the roots from the bottom up, because Ian Heinisch really gave me this passion when he was speaking. Of course, you know, ex-felon, all these different things, really changed his life around, got into MMA, that discipline, a way to kind of channel this, I guess, aggression probably initially until he became passionate about the sport. He really shared how helpful MMA and these combat sports can be to really help get, you know, kids off the streets, focus, discipline. So that is definitely a focus. And, you know, it's going to feel good to, if we can get a couple of gyms up, and those stories and those life-changing moments, I think are going to definitely impact some lives. So there's this kind of other side of it too, that's definitely focused on the small guy and people that most people will never even hear of, but at least like they're getting the help, and they're getting in a community that's ultimately going to prevent them from trouble and turn their life to the good.
Nice.
Wow. Guys, you know what? Talking to you guys, like you guys are like an upcoming Amazon, Tesla waiting to happen. This is the initial phases of it.
Let's go.
Like you guys are you're like a Krispy Kreme waiting to happen. It's just gonna go up everywhere. There's gonna be Krispy Kremes left, right, and center. You know what I mean?
I love it.
All right. And anything else? Sorry. And Bryce.
I think the only thing I want to add is that I know crypto is relatively new for a lot of people. I know a lot of people within the MMA community are unfamiliar with it. And a lot of them, again, when it comes to crypto, people are very skeptical. All that I do ask is that before you judge us is you take an opportunity to not only look at our website, but look at our social media. Look at what we've done already and look at how we're going to continue to build off of it. Our goal is, again, we want to be a staple within the MMA community. I think we've accomplished a lot so far in the short period of 2 months. And we do have a lot in store, some of which Chiro has touched on, and some of which is going to continue to develop as we continue to grow. So to everyone listening, I think I have to thank you. You know, we've had a lot of support from not only the MMA community, but crypto enthusiasts, as well as just athletes and everyone involved, because it's made this experience, especially being an MMA fan, watching the ranks of like Ian Heinisch and Kamaru Usman, and now getting the opportunity to talk to them, you know, aside from the whole business relationship, is really enlightening. You know, it's really cool that I get to experience this, and I appreciate it, and I take all of it in stride, and I'm just humbly blessed to be in this position that I am today. So thank you.
No, thank you, guys. We've been so appreciative of your time and for you to be able to come on and speak with us. I mean, we never in a million years thought we would get to speak to someone from Marshall Inu, let alone two of you guys, and to learn about the project, to learn about what it is. Not for nothing, but like these crypto companies and things like that too. It's like, I don't even know that there's a real person behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to be able to speak to people that are, you know, a part of it or behind it, so that I kind of feel just better about it myself, you know. And I think that hopefully we can get that out to people as well, people that are interested, that listen to this podcast, that maybe, like you said, are not really into it or kind of unsure as to, you know, is this a scam? Like, what's the deal? Where am I going here? But now to hear you guys talk about it and talk about it so openly and so freely and so honestly, it's been great for me, and I really appreciate your time.
Bryce, Chiro, guys, that was so inspirational. Is there any way you guys can end it off in a song? Like, could you guys sing something?
You know, if we could get Bryce Mitchell on here, you know, I didn't know this, but Thug Nasty, he raps. He
raps well.
He raps.
Yeah, he raps good.
Maybe we
bars,
could,
like wooden bars for days.
Yeah.
You know, truly, if you guys ever want to do another episode or, you know, follow the progress, you mentioned in other podcasts, I think that's a great idea, because the teams also, they started a YouTube channel where they're going to be doing these like post-fight interviews. I know we have Volk is going to be coming on a post-fight interview with Marshall Inu, and I know he's been confirmed. But at any rate, it'd be cool to kind of get this jive going and talk to some of these guys. Maybe they even come on here, you know?
Yeah, man. Hey,
Mitchell,
we would love it. And I do, before I let you go too, I do want to say you guys did a fight companion for UFC 273 on your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes.
So while that was going, and is that something that you're looking forward to do? Because I know people love fight companions, and for those that don't understand, that's where you watch their YouTube while you're watching the event alongside, and you kind of chat about it. You guys looking to do more of those?
Absolutely. And
yes,
covering every major pay-per-view event. I don't know if this is official. This is my idea, but I want to do it with LFA too, because everyone is so focused on the UFC. They associate MMA with UFC, and that just shows how young the sport is. There's so many other awesome leagues and promotions. I think 5-6 years from now, I'm not going to say they're going to be just as big as the UFC. They're the king, but they could be just as big, or, you know, still excellent leagues and fighters, Eagle FC, things like this. So yeah, we're looking to expand to those as well.
Nice. Well,
Bryce, Chiro, let me just, you guys just want to see me in a bikini.
I do. I can't wait.
I feel, guys, just be upfront. Just be upfront. Just ask for it, man. I'll give it to you guys for free, no problems. I may have to shave certain areas, but we can make it work.
Let's get you a Marshall Inu bikini.
Hey, why not? Hey, Summer's around
right.
the corner, baby.
We were thinking about canceling this podcast anyway, so send that over, and that can be our last one. That will kill us for sure. Guys, we appreciate your time so greatly. We appreciate you coming on and speaking. Thank you for everything. Great. Best of luck with everything that you do in the future for helping the fighters, again, especially those younger fighters that need it, that need that encouragement and need that ability to train and become the best that they can. So thank you for that. And we look forward to watching your progress, watching your successes. And one day, like you said, if you'd like to come back on and tell us about how things are going, that'd be great. By then, I will definitely have some Marshall Inu in my pocket, my virtual pocket.
Amen. We're going to send you guys some hoodies too, some merch.
All right, man. That'd be awesome, buddy. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna cut it into a crop top.
Thank you guys for everything. This was amazing. All the best to you, and good luck.
Take care, guys.